welcome to the Poyer Pocket. I am in my husband's business game area. He actually does this for a living and flips DVDs, and it's super fun. But anyway, today we are going over ovulation test strips. That is why you came to this video. This is going to be from a cycle a while back, and I'm just covering it now. So I think I was about 6 months in at this point of trying to conceive. So I'm going to pop up a picture just so you can see what I'm talking about. I use just whatever the cheapest is. I think I use Easy at Home, or it's Pre-Mom. I think it's Easy at Home though. You can kind of see they're like a pink one in the picture. What I do is I start around, I'd say 5 days before I think I'm gonna ovulate, and I've kind of changed it as I am feeling different just with each cycle, because I like testing, but it also wears me out when I'm getting like negative after negative, even though it's an ovulation test, not pregnancy test, because those really wear me out and I just get more eager to do it, but then I know I'm gonna feel emotionally drained by it. So the ovulation test, like, there's a little bit of that, but it's not as bad as the negative of a pregnancy test. So with this one, you'll see I started on cycle day 8. So I think this might have been like my first month trying OPKs, because I have done my temperature readings and I do cervical mucus through the Creighton model, and that has just been super helpful so I can understand my body and know for sure, like, yeah, I'm just not ovulating this month, or know when my fertile window is, because it's just super clear with those signals. But I wanted to see if it could show up through a test, because they say with PCOS sometimes it just doesn't show up for whatever reason. Here is cycle day 8, so right after my period likely ended, I decided to take one. And you can see it's super light, and this is kind of my plan going forward, is I'm gonna wait because now I'm on Clomid, and so they tell you exactly when to start testing, but I am going to start a little bit earlier and wait every 2 days until they tell me you test every day, because I like to see the progression. So you can't see, it almost gets worse 2 days later. I'm not anywhere near ovulating, it seems like. So I test the next day, it looks way better, finally in the 0.2, which is really nice about this app, that they give you a percentage and kind of tell you if it's low or if you're approaching. And let's move on. Cycle day 12, back down. Okay, where was I? I think I was on like cycle day 12. So cycle day 12, so all of these so far have been 9-10 a.m. And it looks like on cycle day 13 I did even earlier, but again we've got 0.2, so I'm trusting the process that it is gonna progress. We're still really early. I normally don't ovulate until day 19 to day 23, or if it's past that point, it's not gonna happen. But I never ovulate super early or anywhere near 14. But I've heard that it is good to check in morning and afternoon, or at least like 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. are like the best times that you can do it. You don't want to do your first mornings, and you don't want to do, or maybe I think it's just the first mornings is all that matters. So cycle day 13, there we are. Okay, cycle day 14, I'm still getting low numbers, and I decided to test a different time on the same day. Looks even lower. Next day, still low. I'm probably getting a little frustrated at that, just because I'm like, all right, I guess PCOS, it's not going to show up. So cycle day 16, I did around 8 a.m.s again, because I'm just doing it before I get going, and it looks like that was just different every day. But I love seeing 0.2s. That means we're heading somewhere. And cycle day 17, check that out. So again, same time, and I got in 0.3, which is so exciting, because when you're doing this yourself and staring at those little tests, it would just be completely frustrating, I would think. I haven't tried it, just looking at it. I love using this app. So now I can tell, I'm up just a little bit. It has some system where it can tell for me. I'm not comparing it or having to keep a journal of them, because I just feel like that's weird. Like, I peed on them, I just want to throw them away afterwards. There's too many, and I like that I can take the picture and be done. So we move on to the next day. We're staying in the 0.3. Now this was interesting. We got to cycle day 19 and it went way down. I might have been really stressed out. That can affect it. But it looks like it was, you know, gearing up to that I was going to ovulate. And so I think at that point we went on a trip. There's something going on here that I didn't test for a while. I bet it's because I know where my temperature and my cervical mucus were at. And so I waited to get another sign to know, all right, I don't want to keep wasting all these tests. I think I just got tired of that, like, you're wasting all of them, and I probably only had so many in the box. That's my guess. On cycle day 23, which actually it looks like the one before this, so cycle day 19, I only did, or, you know, I did it at in the afternoon, which was new, and it was that low. So that's another clear sign that's like, something's off. All right, cycle day 23, I did even later in the day, and wow, that is the highest I'd ever gotten. I could clearly see it. I must have also been having a lot more cervical mucus with that clear, stretchy egg white type of mucus that tells me I am getting really fertile. So cycle day 24, we landed on a peak. Now, it's clear from the test that the line is a little bit darker than the other one. And at this point you can tell, okay, this is probably when I ovulated. And especially, I mean, on my first one I got 1.1, my body was ovulating. But cycle day 24 is really late, so I didn't know what type of ovulation that could be. Like, was it dragging on? Did it not fully release the egg? Like, there's just weird things with PCOS, as you likely know. 1.1 though, I was thrilled with, because I've seen other people say that if they get like 0.8 or something close to 0.1 to count that as ovulating. So when I got over 1, that was like so golden. That's what you want. And then what really helps is the next day it drops down. And for me, it looks like I took it within that day, the same day, and it completely, a whole point, you know, it dropped down. And then they say to keep testing, and I did. And you can see it kind of goes back up on 0.28 on day 28 there. But I'm guessing you get kind of variable ones all throughout the month. And so it is nice, like, when you can have something else to rely on, so you don't have to always be checking with the strips throughout the entire month. So there we go. That was that cycle. My cycle didn't end, my cycle didn't end on day 28. I chose to stop taking tests on day 28. This cycle would have gone at least till day 37, probably, is my guess. All right, so let's see what actually the very next cycle did. Now that I've kind of got a hang of it and I know not to test so early, let's see what happened.